of outrageous statements.
The Malaysian leader wants to roll us back to the darkest days of anti-Semitic hatred. His language should be condemned by every world leader.
The part of Mahathir's speech that was not noted was his stand against terrorism. Instead, he was called anti-Semitic. Mahathir felt the Western media misunderstood him, and he had to set things right.
Lots of people make nasty statements about us, about Muslims. People call Muslims terrorists. People make such statements, and they seem to get away with it. Are we not allowed at all to criticize the Jews if they do things which are wrong?
On October 31st, 2003, just over a year after announcing his retirement, Malaysian Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad clocked out for the very last time, leaving his deputy, Abdullah Badawi, as the country's new Prime Minister.
You are 22 years as Prime Minister, you are giving it up. Not because somebody pushes you up, but it is your own decision. It's a tough decision.
From the Malay dilemma, you realize that he wanted there to be a change so that the Malay community would be just as progressive as the non-Malays. But he felt that he didn't actually achieve that during his tenure of Prime Minister.
Almost every year, I have appealed to them. I have even said prayers. I had cried. I had tried everything possible to convince them that they have to change. That unless they change, they cannot succeed. You see, but and after 22 years of trying, I think I have failed.
He achieved quite some success. One can see it in the way Malaysia's developed, in a middle class that includes significant numbers of Malays, including many professionals that didn't exist when he came to power. At the same time, there was a lot of abuse of that affirmative action program that tends to detract from his reputation. Dr. Mahathir's 22 years in power was long for a Malaysian leader, but about standard or about average for the authoritarian leaders in the region. Suharto of Indonesia and Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore were longer. Marcos of the Philippines was about the same. So, yes, he was about average.
I still get people coming up to me. Strangely, a lot of them were Chinese. They came to me. Even young people came up to me and say, well, thank you. I am a product of your period as Prime Minister. So that, I mean, that makes my day. You see?
I think we have to move on without him. You know, I mean, that's the idea of independence, that we can work our own way through. You can't have someone constantly holding our hands, you know.
But Mahathir would not retire quietly.
I have said before that I'll be even more irresponsible after I've stepped down from being the Prime Minister. But of course, as not being the Prime Minister, probably people won't take notice of what I say. So I'll be more free to say nasty things. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
In retirement, 82-year-old Mahathir Mohamad worked as an advisor to companies including Petronas, the owner of the world's tallest twin towers.
He has plenty of time to do what he wants. I think that's what everyone wishes for themselves, right? He can write, he can travel, he can see his grandchildren, and I think he's quite happy nowadays, you know, much nicer in many ways because he's more relaxed.
Where his temperament is concerned, he has mellowed. Mellowed, I don't know, because of his political duties, or maybe because of his age, that he tends to become more reasonable, more understanding, He's a very understanding person.
In the 2008 elections, the Malay political party UMNO suffered a major loss. Mahathir felt someone should be held accountable.
You know, although I'm retired, I'm a politician through and through. And for me, I need to see this country go on growing and be highly regarded. So if I see something wrong, I have to make my views heard. And if there is anything I can contribute, I would like to contribute.
Mahathir called on his successor, Prime Minister Abdullah Badawi, to step down from his post. He made the same demand of Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman almost 40 years ago after the 1969 elections. Nothing seemed to have changed.
I knew very well that he will not keep quiet. It was not like Mahathir.
I don't think he can ever quit politics. Politics is in his blood.
No longer Prime Minister, Mahathir was now on the other side, looking in. During Mahathir's time, press freedom was curtailed and alternative views suppressed. Ironically, the same was now happening to Mahathir.
If you say anything against the government, then it will not be published. You see, if a newspaper reporter asks somebody and he says something that is not supportive of the government, it's blacked out.
Mahathir had to join the online community.
He became a blogger because he felt that the mainstream media was cutting him out, not letting him air his views, you know, that sort of thing.
In fact, even in his university days, he was already writing politically under the pseudonym of Choidet, which is now being used in his blog.
82-year-old Mahathir started blogging on May 1st, 2008. By the second month, his blog drew 3 million hits. A year later, 19 million hits.
So people want to say these things, and they found that what I was saying is what they want to say. That is why they became interested in reading my blog.